Yo,
Hey, welcome to the New Meta, episode 91.
91.
You guys couldn't hear it, but we were talking about how the start wasn't going to be smooth because
No.
OBS updated, and
Right.
look at it. It's
Smooth as
beautiful.
butter.
It's beautiful. Welcome to the episode. How was your week, ma'am? Do you have the coronas yet?
Maybe I'm incubating. Are you incubating yet?
I am not yet.
Your background suggests you are.
Yeah, I'm here just in case.
Still, yeah.
You know, I've been at the hospital permanently for like the last month.
Who knew that background would be so topical, when we first...
I know. It's kind of toxic now, isn't it? Just a little bit. So, yeah, it is kind of relevant.
What's the problem?
Yeah, listen, if you need a spot, man, I got you, okay? I can take care of you for the week.
Nice.
So we're going to talk about that. We got a lot of things to talk about.
Yeah.
And some new things to talk about for the New Meta podcast. New Meta podcast got some stuff.
Yep.
So we're gonna get into that. Do you want to do that first before we hit the poll?
Let's do it right out of the gate.
So this last week we spent a lot of time trying to get Patreon set up for the New Meta podcast, and we did it. So you guys can now support our Patreon page. I can't spam that because the bot is mad at me, but it's in the chat, and one of the mods maybe or somebody can spam that a couple times, and it'll be in the video description if you're watching on YouTube and all the other channels. You can come to Fluff's channel or his YouTube or my channel and find it. But yeah, so the Patreon set up, and there are some pretty cool things on the Patreon.
Yeah, we've got layers, boys.
We got juice. So if you guys aren't familiar with how it works, it's a way that they call it pledging. Us Twitch users would probably call it subbing, but you can pledge to the New Meta, and it gives you various things that you can get. And I'm pulling up the list so I don't misquote it really quick.
Okay.
But what it is, there are 5 tiers. And the first tier is $5 a month, and it's just to support the podcast, and we appreciate you. Thank you very much. You are awesome. That money that we get from it will go to doing things like sending us to BlizzCon if we ever have another one because of Corona, or
paying for Fluff to go to BlizzCon. You'll pay.
Yeah. It'll also do things like let's say new ARPG comes on the market, and Fluff and I can get it, play it together, and review it and talk about it on the podcast. So it just goes for little things like that, but mainly probably for the cons and the things like that.
Yeah.
Then there's a $10 tier. The $10 tier is the New Meta pre-party, and so this is going to let you guys, Fluff and I, have like a 10-minute conversation, roughly, maybe a little bit longer sometimes, every podcast before the podcast starts. This lets you guys eavesdrop on that. You can be a fly on the wall and listen to that. So we're going to let you guys jump in Discord with us. You won't be able to talk to us, but you'll be able to hear what we're talking about and just listen in and get some behind the scenes juice.
Spoiler alert, a lot of dicks. A lot of dick talk.
Yeah. Fluff's really toxic when he's not streaming. You think he's bad when he's streaming? Like,
I was gonna say, when I'm not streaming.
Like, you think he's toxic when he's streaming? It's like amped up by 20 when he thinks that nobody can hear him.
Yep.
So we're gonna do that. That's for the $10 tier. The $25 tier is the VIP AMA access, and so you get access to the previous tiers with every tier also. So not only can you listen in, but with this tier, it's $25, and you can the first podcast of every month. You guys get to join us in Discord and ask us anything. This is going to be during the podcast. We're going to set a little time block away. So if we have anybody that signs up at this tier, you get to join the podcast. You get to ask us any questions. Spots are limited, so we'll see how popular that is. If it gets crazy, then we'll have to figure out a way to round robin or something.
Yeah,
those questions. So that format will get ironed out as we go along, and then you get, of course, like I said, you get the Discord. There's 2 other tiers. These are for the big boy supporters who really love us. The $50 tier is the New Meta Legend. You also get your name displayed on the podcast. So somewhere on that screen over there somewhere. We'll have your name displayed, and we'll shout you out as a producer of the new meta during the broadcast live every week as well. And then the face of the new meta is the last tier. It's a $100 tier. This one's kind of crazy, man. So for this one, we're probably gonna we'll see even if anybody does it. But if we get it after the podcast is over, once a month, the same, you guys get to hang out in Discord with us as soon as the podcast is over. When Fluff and I always stream after, we'll jump in Discord, chat with you, and just shoot the crap. You know, just be like, hey, what's up? How you doing? And so you get to come hang out in Discord with us after the podcast for that evening, and of course you get all the previous tiers benefits. So that's it, man. It's pretty cool. There's a lot of tiers, man. If you know, like I said, $5 is there. If you just like, hey man, I love the content, keep it up, guys. I'm gonna help send you to BlizzCon and shit like that. That's there. All the way up to the big boy, I'm a baller, I want to come chat and hang out with the crew. So
you also don't have to. You can opt out if you want to just support even more. You don't have to like join Discord if you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, if you're shy and you don't want to, like, I don't want to ask you.
Right.
Obviously, we're not gonna make you do it.
Right.
But it's there, man. I know some of you guys might like to hang out in Discord afterwards, or I imagine a lot of you guys would like to hear our pre-show talks when Fluff actually mutes them and doesn't broadcast them to the stream like today.
It's only been like twice.
Yeah, only twice. Is there a $500 option? I will make one just for you.
Yeah,
if you want it. So I'll put that on there for you.
Yeah, there you go.
Such fear. I don't know. We'll think about that. Tell me what
we just sell you our Twitch account.
Yeah,
it's about what they're worth.
$500. You can have my partnered account. Here you go. It's all yours. Yeah. So that's it, man. I just wanted to throw that out there. It's a lot harder to get this set up and get all the tiers and all the things than you realize, man. We had to brainstorm for a while to be like, okay, well, what could we offer the supporters and stuff? And so it's been in the works for a while. I'm glad we finally got it finished.
Yeah, man.
So pretty cool.
Good work on that.
All right, let's talk about the Diablos and the POEs.
Corona.
And the Corona. Well, let's do the poll.
Okay.
All right.
So last week. Oh wait, these are different. Oh god.
Did you screw them up?
No, that's just new. Look, it's OBS. The names are okay. It just threw me off. So it's so weird.
The hell is that?
Okay.
Glad I didn't update.
So last week we asked, were you overall happy with the most recent Diablo 4 updates? I should have like bolded that somehow. I wonder if people voted based on Diablo 3. But yeah, Diablo 4 updates. What that means, the latest post they made about inventory, console, couch co-op, all the things, the art. How happy were you? Yes, no, in the middle. So, ThaPChild, what did you vote? And what do you think won?
Do I have to reveal my vote? I listen, man. I voted no because I'm honest. I'm not happy with that update. It was a cool update, but I'm not happy with it. Like, no, I want to know about itemization first, and skills, and talent trees, and all of those things that really are the core of the game. UI is important, but I mean, POE has a crap UI and it's still a fun game, right? So that's not the end all be all to me. So I voted no, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would vote no as well. Results, it's pretty split. 42% of the vote says no. 42% of the vote says in the middle, and then 15% of the vote says yes. Wow, it's pretty split.
Well, it's split between like not really.
It's like split between meh,
it's like no
and no,
meh,
right?
And no,
yeah.
So,
well, I mean, so yeah, the big takeaway is that most people are not super pleased.
But it sounds toxic. I appreciate the poll. I'm not the poll. I appreciate the
post.
Content.
Yeah, of course.
I appreciate the post. So I don't want to say that I don't, but it's not with the information I want.
Sure.
So
I don't think that's toxic, but half the shit I don't think is toxic is apparently toxic. So
Yeah, you should hear that pre-banter talk, boys. Let me tell you.
Shut up. And then
I record it for blackmail. I'm just throwing that out there.
Nice. Solid. Like, how much dick do I actually talk about? Now you got me thinking. Jeez.
Quite a bit. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
This week you can see the filters on this thing. All right. Corona. So the question we're asking, has Corona affected your season/league start?
Oh my gosh.
It's a curious question. You know, some people,
no. It's a good
maybe they
question.
had kids.
It's affected mine a little bit, but we'll talk about it next week.
Okay. But I want to know about Corona now.
Okay, we'll talk about it now.
Okay, so I have some questions. So I got sent home. Let's talk about work first, right? So I got sent home Friday. Yeah. And we're kind of like, they say, 27th everyone will come back, but we'll, probably not. I doubt it.
Right.
But like, what are you still at work? When did you get sent home? What's going on with you?
Yeah. So my company is weird, man. Like the owner and the VP really runs the company, but those two are kind of like old school, strict, like you fucking come to work till you die type, But they're also super cool with like family and shit though. So like they know, like if you got kids, like, hey, if you do what you gotta do, I know that you'll get your work done. You know what I mean?
Fucking bullshit, by the way.
It's crazy, right? So, so they were like, they're super hesitant. Like, so people are still working. So my kids got out of school for like at least a month. Okay. Right. And it's like, okay, so I have kids at home now. And I was like, I can't leave them at home by themselves for a month straight. Like what, my two little ones are 8 and 9. It's like I gotta figure something out. So I go talk to my boss, and my boss is pretty cool. I mean, my bosses all have kids, and they're like, okay, I get it. I know you can work from home, and so I spent the entire day Friday setting it up because I run IT, so I'm setting everybody up to work remotely. Do you have a PC at home? Yes. Let's get your software. Let's get it set up. Do you not have a PC at home? Okay, here's a laptop. I put this is how you use it. Get everybody good to go. And so there's a couple people in the office that have kids, and the owners let us, like they're working with us. Like I'm going in tomorrow. I didn't go in today. But the other people that don't have kids were starting to bitch. Like, I don't have kids, but I don't want to come to work. And so, like, I don't know. I guess it started some shit today while I wasn't at work. And so the head president agreed to send everybody home, but the vice president had been like, no. So now the vice president's pissed off, and it's like this. It's like this drama. And my thing is, it's like I think most everybody can do their job remotely. There might be like one person that needs like physical assets at our building, but everybody else, like most of our shit's cloud based anyways. You know what I mean? So it's like, okay, let us work from home. So yeah. So yeah, I'm working from home like part-time right now. I think that'll ramp up next week. I think next week I'll probably start working from home full-time.
Right.
So unless I'm needed to go in, unless I physically have to put my hands on a server or a system,
It's so weird to think about, like, I don't know, man. Like, the work's like, a couple weeks, like you'll be able to come back. It's just like, I don't feel like people really understand, like, this is gonna get cray. I feel like, like we're gonna be working.
I feel like it's
just
starting. Yeah, like I don't think people realize how crazy it's gonna get. And I don't really think the virus is what's gonna make it crazy.
Right.
I think like society's mass panic is gonna make it 50 billion times worse. Yeah, because it's just like, just keep your shit, relax a little bit.
Well, and people like, just being like irresponsible too, like people are going to panic. People are going to be irresponsible. People that aren't in the demographic of getting killed by it, they're going to be like, whatever, and they're going to make other people sick, and it's like,
it's crazy.
Oh man, it's going to be a crazy world. But this is what I'm curious.
What about you?
This is what I'm curious. So Kansas, which I grew up in Kansas until very recently. I moved just across the border, but I'm like 10 minutes from Kansas still. But Kansas decided to shut down school for the rest of the year.
The whole year?
Yep. So
God
like,
damn.
at first you're like, well, I mean, I guess, you know, it's responsible to shut down. But then it's like, wow, that's a lot. Like, what? So let me ask you, like, 'cause you have
So
kids.
like you can't redact once you shut it down. You
I
can't
know. I don't.
redact.
Yeah.
You're like just getting kids come back to school. To me, that seems super irresponsible. It's like we're not there yet. This is part of the fucking chaos. This is part of the poor leadership. I feel like relax, assess the situation, cancel it for a month, readdress it in 3 weeks,
Yeah.
and
I don't
then
know.
just cancel it again. And
I'm
just
sure
keep
there's
canceling
some
it.
five heads in that room. I gotta think that it's not all like total idiots.
You
So
think
maybe
they have
it's like,
info we don't have?
well, maybe it's like, well, if we're taking a month, 2 months off curriculum, can like we really recover the students from that? And then like, so then we just end up doing a reset anyways. Or I don't know. Like because I don't have kids, you know, I don't have kids in Kansas, so I don't have like any finger on the pulse of
Chad
that.
just made the point that school does end in May, and I kind of forget it's March. It's the end of March already, so it's really 2 months. They basically canceled it for 2 months.
Right.
So yeah. My youngest kids don't have any homework or anything. Like the teachers are communicating and saying like we're trying to find some things you can do at home, and then my bigger kids, they use Google Classroom, so they still are getting homework and
Right.
having to do homework and shit from home. So.
But like, what happens? So, poof, you know, 2 months from now, let's just assume this is all blown over. Like, it's on the downward slope, and people are going back to work. Like, I guess what happens? Or like, I don't know. Like, you're kind of effed, or like a month from now, and works. Or
Yes, man.
yeah, it's kind of crazy.
You gotta find people. You gotta manage. Like finding out how to take care of your kids is a thing right now. At least for me, and other coworkers I have. You know, there's a couple people in my building that are around my age with kids that are my kids' age, and
Right.
and we're all like, fuck, like what are we gonna do? Like, you know, schools are out for a month. Like I can't pay for daycare, and then like you can't send them to daycare anyways because those are closed too. So it's
Right.
like, what are we doing, man? We're working from home, or are we just not working? We getting fired, or like what's going on?
Yeah.
You know, so it's nuts. But you know, we talk about that, like you know, so you and I have it pretty good. We can work from home. We can still get our paycheck and things like that. The thing to me is like, you know, I see Twitter and I see all these posts on Twitter of people like, be responsible, stop going out to bars, stop going out to restaurants and this and that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, I agree with that. But then as soon as I read it, I instantly think, what about the bar owner? What about the restaurant owner? What about those managers, those hostess, those waiters, those cooks?
Yep.
Those guys are straight effed. And I've had people in my chat that are managers of restaurants tell me like, I'm effed.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my restaurant shut down today.
Sure.
I don't have a job, you know? So it's crazy, man. It's nuts. So, you know, some of us are lucky enough to work from home. A lot of people just aren't. And
sure,
I feel for those people, man. It's gonna affect everybody regardless, because the economy is gonna tank like crazy.
Yeah.
You know. So
that being said, though, guys, still support with Patreon, you know.
Yeah. Hey guys, we got a Patreon set up. So
no, but it's funny because it's like my mom messaged me today. I wish this was a fake story, but this is a real story. So my mom texted me today. She said, hey, like now that you like work from home or maybe have more time on your hands, which I don't know where that thought comes from, you should develop a way for students to take classes online. I was like, Mom, hello? You know this is a thing already, right? She's like, oh.
Hey, she's right thought process, Mom. Good job.
I immediately text my
about
siblings.
10 years, 15 years, shit, 20 years too late, but
I text my siblings like, guys, we're gonna be rich. Mom has this great idea.
Did you? You see, that's what I'm talking about. Toxic. See, this is why you want to listen in to this free podcast.
My brother was like, yeah, and we should make some sort of app that tells you how to navigate the places while you drive.
You know, what if we had phones that you could drive with in the car?
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. I don't want to sit and dwell the whole podcast on it
Sure.
because it's everywhere you look, and some people come to Twitch and listen to podcasts to escape from it. So
Yeah.
I hope that that's some of you guys too. But it's crazy, man. It's definitely just starting. I feel like unfortunately.
Hence the poll.
Yep.
But
yep. So tell us. Yeah, like I'd be interested, man, if in the YouTube comment section for this pod,
yeah, man.
like fill it up, man. I'd like to read some stories about how it's affected you guys, and hope everybody's doing good. Battle.net's dead.
Yeah, what the hell? I was gonna log in to like pull up the LBs to see how the season's going, but
yeah, yeah, it looks like it's dead. Chat's been saying it's dead during the pod too, so hopefully that'll come back up.
This is Corona related. Do you think? I don't know. I kind of think so. POE's been getting hit really hard too. Like server performance is really bad. Now POE got DDoS at the start of the league, but you got. I wonder if it's
POE, not Blizzard. Why would you target POE? What a
why would you target anyways? Like it's such a fucking douchebag move. But
yeah,
I kind of think it was Blizzard, right? Like they're like, oh,
Blizzard's
play season 20.
Yeah.
Like, fuck.
Somebody goes to the IT staff at Blizz and like, yo, how much bandwidth do we have here? And they're like, oh, we get about 2 terabytes a second. Right. They're like,
we can spin up some of these Diablo 3 servers to attack because they're not getting used anymore.
Oh man.
Blizzard,
what are we doing?
Blizzard, I love you. Blizzard, hey, I love you.
So listen, I'm gonna make sure, guys, if you're interested in BlizzCon 2021, I don't think there's gonna be a 2020, but 2021, I will have. I'll be backstage, and Fluff will be with the regular crowd.
The
so
normies.
Make sure you're following me on Twitter because I'll have all the juice.
Shit.
So Fluff will be trying to. I think they're going to be onto that sneaking in. They're going to have like fucking wanted posters up next year.
Yeah.
They're gonna be like, the security guys are going to have like this picture. They're going to keep face checking.
Yep. True. That's probably true.
Their security was kind of a joke, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So
totally. But it's not like.
It doesn't need to be crazy
for me.
It doesn't need to be crazy,
right?
But I'm just saying, like, it was kind of like you could kind of just
security to get into BlizzCon was a joke, and to get into the VIP areas, it was kind of a joke. But I think once you're in, like, if you sneak into a VIP area, like that's not the issue to me. It's like I could sneak in to BlizzCon fairly easily because like no one cared. No one gave a shit. Like you could put whatever you wanted in the bucket that was like to go through the metal detector, and they're just having conversations. Like they don't even look at the bucket. They're just like,
it's just the fear of having a guard. I think it's like people freak out. I don't know, man. Maybe we shouldn't say that it's a joke because then people know it's a joke. I don't know. Too late now, I guess.
Yeah.
Redact.
Mods, edit that out.
Yeah, please. So let's talk about the season a little bit. We can't get into the game to show you guys the leaderboards to talk about.
I did look before, so
I'm in.
Oh, okay.
Are you in yet?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, I can pull it up.
I know what it is. I saw what it is.
Okay. So season 20 started.
Yeah, you tell me, right? So I didn't play it.
Yeah.
You played it. Well, like how did it feel? Like what was the seasonal theme feel good? Did it feel like people were excited about it? What'd you get?
Okay, so the seasonal theme, so I get my Kadala luck is probably the worst. Every season I get shit. This season I got what was the weapon? The poison weapon. I forget the name of it. That increases damage but for poison, every poison ability.
There's like that.
Yeah,
that's actually good.
I don't like it. It was okay.
All right.
That's not what I wanted.
Did you not watch my starter guide? God damn it, dude.
I actually did watch your starter guide. I gave you a couple views on it, man.
Sweet.
So it was okay, but the season leveling went pretty smooth. We did rats off the bat, so we had 1 barb, 3 necros. Between the 3 necros, we were able to get decent things, and barbs are pretty powerful leveling too.
Sure.
Our barb got some juice leveling up, so it was all right, man. There's like different methods to level. There's like kill streak. I don't want to call it an exploit, but there's kill streak methods and various methods that'll let you get level 70 in under an hour.
Sure.
If you perform it right.
Mm-hmm.
We opted just to level traditional.
Yeah,
we didn't want to take advantage. It feels cheesy to me, and I don't like doing it. So we leveled legit. It took us like 2 hours and 10 seconds or something exactly. So it's a pretty decent time. I don't think it wasn't the fastest ever. It wasn't, it wasn't super slow though.
Mm-hmm.
And then, we got straight into rats. The first primal I got was Custarian bracers, which if you aren't familiar, those are the bracers that give you experience when you pick up gold.
Nice, dude.
Yeah,
so you're like Paragon
awesome.
5K already, right?
Yeah, they're so good. I put a Boon of the Hoarder on and it's like, boom. Dude, it was nuts. No, they're absolute garbage and I trashed them. It sucks. It was, I never get anything good. Have you ever got something even usable from that? I always get shit. People link me like Scythe of the Cycle and like they'll link me like all this, and I'm like,
bastards,
fuck you, man. You like, how do you?
Honestly, no. I think it would stick out to me if I ever did. So yeah, I definitely have not. I think,
but it wasn't that good. And then that's pretty much it. I didn't get this season with the seasonal theme, being able to put whatever you want in the cube, it's tricky to me because I like it and it feels good, but at the same time I feel like it's an illusion, right? It makes you feel like you have all these options and you're like, oh, I can do whatever I want with the cube now. But in reality, it's like, well, not really, because there's still the best. It's like, okay, now this was the best before, now this is the best now, and you can't deviate from that. Which is going to be the case in almost any game ever, right? There's always going to be a meta. There's always going to be something that's most efficient. So I just feel like as a Necro, it feels really fun to have Scythe and Tragghouls and Relinas all in the cube, and then the Messerschmitts. Like to have those 4 weapons at the same time, it's like, oh my god.
Right.
But you're never gonna not do that. Like, okay, so I'm gonna make a T16 build, and I might throw like Geoman, or I might throw something else. But it's like Messerschmitts is always gonna be in the cube. Always.
With enough cooldown, yeah. You wouldn't really need it, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, so I don't know. It's kind of an illusion, but it's a fun illusion.
Sure.
Is I guess how I feel about it. Because it's like once people discover the new metas with the cube, then that's gonna just be what you put in. It's not really options anymore. But it does give you toys to play with, and you can sit there and like I was working on a T16 build, just a mage build. I'm like, I didn't just go look up what I had done in the past. I'm like, well, let's just start throwing things together and looking at the cube and seeing what we can mix in. And it was fun. It was cool. So
great. So the servers are down, I guess.
Did they crash out?
I think so.
Yeah, it kicked me out too.
Well,
so
nice.
Yeah. As far as the leaderboards go, I haven't really spent much time analyzing them. Day one is always fun to try to hit, the high ranks just for fun, just as you're playing, just like, oh, let's do one and see what we get. So our team was pretty high. Like we were just casual, like running. We got rats going pretty quick, and we were running just 4-mans just to, get experience. And we were pushing like, top 5 for a long time doing that, just speeding through rifts. It was fun to see. But as far as like what people are actually pushing now, I haven't gotten to really check it out too much. Barb and Crusader are pretty juice, I think.
Dude, Witch Doctor already has 130 clears at like 1500 Paragon. So
wow.
Yeah.
The fact that somebody's got 1500 Paragon in the season already is pretty nuts too.
Well, so the rank 1 Witch Doctor right now, you'll never guess what guild he's in.
Brother Chris.
ROS spot. Yeah. So that's pretty cool that still happens, Blizzard. But yeah, so 131 is obviously insanely strong at 1500. So expect nerfs, team, for Moon Danugu.
But
we knew that coming in.
We had a conversation about Moon Danugus.
Okay.
Apparently it's like translates. It's like an African witch doctor.
Oh.
Like it's like a direct translation. So it's not just made up gibberish. It's like actually a thing. So.
Right on. Yeah, still don't care about Witch Doctor, but wow, that's neat.
Everybody's like, "Are you going to play one? Are you going to play one?" I'm like, probably not.
And then so that's a 131, 1500. Wizards at a 118, and it wasn't Hydra. It was Veer.
Yeah.
which I guess is just really strong early season, or still going to be really good. I guess with the
Maybe
cube.
Hydra's a late bloomer. Maybe it sleeps. Got to get the itemization
But
better. I don't
to
know.
lock it home, as we kind of theory crafted, it's kind of a fail, right? So the new set isn't going to get used for Hydra. It's going to be LOD, and I think that I mean, I don't want to be just toxic, but that's a fail.
So the new sets, if they're not the best set for the class, it's a fail in my opinion.
Well, not even that. I don't think that that's true. I think that if you've added the ability for Hydra to be played, and that's the theme of the new set, but it's still better to go LOD, that's a fail. Because that's like, why did you even design the set? Because if people are just going to play LOD, that's a fail.
That is a fail, and the new set should still be at least equal to power, if not the best. Yeah. Okay, and let's ask this then: if the new Necro set comes out, and it's we'll just assume that they buff Pestilence to be the best pushing set. Okay,
sure.
That's number one. Cold Lancer is back in top spot. The new set comes out. Cold Lance is still better.
I don't think that's a fail. I don't think that's a fail. No, I don't agree. Because that's like historically Blizzard, that's what they do. They just like come out with a new set and then it's better than everything else and they let everything else die. Like that's fucking dumb. Just make it within like 1 or 2 levels of each other, whether it's not as better or worse, who cares? If it's like relevant and it's not like a meme, then great. You did a good job. To me, I don't think that's a fail.
I want to play the new stuff. I don't want to play the old stuff.
Yeah,
I want to play the new stuff.
Be rank 1 of the new stuff. Like, I don't know. If it's within 1 or 2 GRs, you're not scrolling that far down the leaderboard to see like, okay, I'm rank 1 with the new set. Where if it's like 5 to 10, it's like you don't know.
So we had a what season was it? Was it I don't remember now. But we did have season 13, 14, something like that. It was after one of the balance patches where we did have a season where I remember Demon Hunter had several sets competing for the top slot, and Barbarian did as well.
Yep.
Like Barbarian had that one crazy outlandish whirlwind guy that was number 1. But then you had like IK, and then you had Rakor, and then Demon Hunter was like Impale and multi-shot, and maybe even M6N4.
Yep.
And that's cool. If they can get things within a couple levels, I agree it's not a fail. If it's within 1 or 2 levels, it's not a fail. If you have a couple different sets represented in the top 10 or the top 20, it's not a fail. But if you have to scroll down to like 800 to find it, that's a fail.
Yeah, I agree. Agreed. Totally.
So
totally. And again, at the end of the day, if they had a leaderboard filter, like where you could just do by sets, I don't even know that it would matter if it wasn't in 5, because you could still compete for the rank 1 of a set. And I think that Blizzard is one of the plays you should probably go for moving forward.
I think that's one thing that could bring a lot of
life to a season.
A lot of life to the game, to a season. Leaderboard filters would probably at this point be one of the biggest. I'm not going to call it an easy win because I don't know how their leaderboards are coded. I would think from a website perspective, if the data's there, I don't understand why you couldn't build an API to do it. But it's probably the easiest win they have in their deck of wins. That's got to be the easiest to fulfill. That would be pretty good.
Yeah, I think that's top 2. I think honestly, I was going to talk about this later, but I think if we're looking at Diablo 3 from a numbers perspective, it's been going downhill pretty fast, and I think that you could save still. I still think you could save Diablo 3, and let me know if you agree with this. But I think the fastest path to saving Diablo 3 and making it kind of limelight in competitive scene again would be to 1, do challenge seasons where it's like a 1 week, 2 week season that happens inside of the season, just at some point, like in the middle, the end, whatever. And hopefully don't time it with anything with Path of Exile.
Good.
And so people just like grind your face off for like a week. And that way, like the botters, they're still gonna have an advantage, but it's not like, oh my God.
Yeah. I would take that a step further. I think it should be a weekend event too. I think they should rotate. I think they should mix it up. I agree with the one. I think with the 1 or 2 weeks, I think it's cool. And I think a weekend, most people, if they had enough notice, could schedule it. Like anybody who's really interested could be like, all right, I can get the kids to the sitters. I can take a couple of vacation days. I'm gonna fuck this weekend up, man.
Right.
I'm getting pizza rolls and fucking bangs, and we're done, you know,
Right.
and just go crazy. So it would be cool for them to do a couple of those.
Sure.
I agree with the week thing too, and I almost think that they should schedule them outside of the season. What if they made the season break longer? They're like, okay, season 20 ends. We got a week. We're gonna patch. We're gonna give that a week. We're gonna make sure shit's right. We're gonna fix anything that's crazy. The next week, we're like, okay, challenge weekend or challenge week or however long you want to do it. Knock that out. Then maybe you get another week of downtime, and then boom, the next season starts up. You know, that way you can have these little mini seasons, these super hype, intense moments that are preceded and followed up with some downtime where you're like, okay, everybody's not feeling stressed to play. You know,
Sure.
I don't
Honestly,
know, man.
for me, I don't care when it happens, just as long as it doesn't line up with anything Path of Exile. I think it's not going to get that much visibility if you line it up. So I think the other part of this, right? So that's one thing that they could do, and that's just like, I think that's just the little edge, right? I don't think that's quite enough. What they could do, and I think this would be super juicy, is obviously, you know, people have been dying for SSF. That's a given. People want SSF. But what would be even more exciting
with you
is if, so they say they implement SSF finally. Obviously, that would do great things for the game. That's a no-brainer. But what you could do with this, now that SSF is in the game, now we're not just saying, okay, let's do a 1 week season and let's see who's the top wizard after 1 week. Because that's exciting, but it's not that exciting. Whereas if you did SSF, you could be like, okay, first player to hit 120 wins. It's over.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with those things. Some people are asking in chat, what's SSF? It stands for solo self-found.
Yeah.
And it basically what it means is you have to play by yourself. No trading, no grouping, no anything. So everything that you have, you found it yourself by yourself without any external help from anything. Yeah, man. I think there could be a bunch of things like that. I think treasure hunts, they could, it would be cool if they put, to expand on that. Let's say that they did this little mini season. You're like, okay, first solo player to hit 120 wins, or first of every class to hit 120 wins.
That'd be great.
Or whatever they do, right? But what if they were like, what if they, dropped hints and riddles at things like the end game could be like the first person to, and I know this sucks. This is just the only idea I can come up with instantly. But let's see, the first person to do all of the challenge rift, the set rifts, the set dungeons. What if it was a person that's like, what if there was like a set dungeon that they're dropping hits at, and the person has to be the first one to master it, or something like that? Like they could do various things to keep people entertained, And the set dungeons, just something that came to mind from your idea. But I agree, man. I like little challenges and little.
That's flags. The thing is POE can do things like, okay, first person to kill Awakener, right? But Diablo can't do that. Like Diablo can't be like, okay, first person to kill the Auric. Like that'd be fucking stupid. So it has to be just like a set GR. Unfortunately, in the current state, it'd be really cool if they're like, okay, we're gonna implement Uber, Diablo or something like that. The first player.
But they could do other things though. Like they could have a challenge season. That's like, okay, create your special event character, your challenge season character. In this challenge season, XP's nerfed to 20%, and difficulties ramped up, whatever. Boss damage is increased, whatever. And then you could do things like first person to kill Mathiel, wins. And so you're getting 20% less or 20% XP, you're taking more damage, and then they could even do stupid things like making it in hardcore. They could say first person to kill Mathiel in hardcore with the 20% XP on a necro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That'd be like super punishment. There's a lot of things that they could do with that. Totally. I just don't know if they have
resources,
have any manpower to do it. And I agree. I think the challenge week or challenge weekends would be great ideas. I would like to see games bring back stuff and not with seasons because I don't want it in seasons, but for like non-season to get people enticed to play maybe the non-season guys, like the XP bonus weekends they used to do, the double bounty map bonus weekends they used to do, the any of the bonus weekend event things they used to do, the drop rates and all that. Like drop rates are so high already.
Sure.
But at least the double bounties, like like Friday, Saturday, just be like, hey, this weekend, double bounties. Like, cool. It's not anything exciting. Like, I'm not saying like that's the shit, but it does make people like, oh, well, I'm gonna play this weekend.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna grind that out.
There's also that guilt of, oh, I can't get on this weekend, so well, that fucking sucks. I'm gonna sit on the double bounty. But I mean, I guess that's games. But
yeah, that's just how it works, I guess. Yeah. There's also fear of like I can't play the opening weekend. I'm not gonna play the whole season rip. So.
But anyways, that was a super side tangent. So Wizard is
what were we talking about?
At a 118, and it's with Veer. Barb, I believe, is 122, and I think this is Whirlwind still.
I'm sure.
Probably.
Whirlwind's so juice.
I don't think that there's a top new set clear, but I can't look through it easily right now.
Let me check and see if the
down.
battle. Let's see if it looks like it might be back up. Okay. Trying to load in now.
Me too.
Nope. I'm in queue for 4 minutes.
Nice. Oh.
You got right in what?
Dude, face of Diablo. I'm telling you. Easy. Okay. So Barb. I don't see anyone wearing the new stuff. This is probably also Whirlwind. No, I don't know. I don't think there's probably anyone in the top 10 with the new set. No, there we go. Rank 7. Oh. Rank 8.
Lost it.
Rank 8. New guy. Is the new set. So, neat. That's not bad. What clear is that? The 119 compared to the top 122? But I think Whirlwind scales like crazy, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I guess
that's in the ballpark. Whirlwind does scale like crazy. It's super juice right off the bat. So,
yeah, but that's not bad. Yeah. That's not necessarily a fail in my book. It's a fail in your book, right?
3 level, not this early in the season. No, okay. I think you need people to, once they start hitting that 3K Paragon mark, which most people won't hit 3K. I mean, it's getting easier and easier now, but at 1,000 Paragon now, it's not a fail yet.
1K Paragon. Wait, what? Wrong K Paragon rank 1 Crusader is at a 121 with just 1K. That's crazy. No one's playing Crusader. Damn.
Probably not, man.
I guess 1K is pretty high right now. I don't know. I guess I was comparing against the ROS rat. Necro 118. Obviously, probably LOD mages. Yep, called it. Is this literally exactly what I called? Yep. I tweeted it out as soon as they posted the patch notes. I was like, this will be the top build. Yep. And then who's left? Monk. Monk's probably the same as last season. Kind of lower power. Yeah. But yeah, Witch Doctor is obviously crushing it. Super crushing it. So, but the top guy is almost 10 tiers above the second. So,
yeah, there's a different. I mean, you got to take fishing into account too. Some people are gonna fish early in the season. Some people aren't gonna fish. So.
Yeah, especially if you don't have to farm keys.
Yeah, they're botting the keys.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, everything was good. I'm happy for Witch Doctors. They have a really strong set. I did enjoy the little that I played, Mundanugu. So, great.
It's interesting.
Their time in the spotlight.
Like I'm looking at the leaderboards for Necro, and it is interesting. The top spot is Lon or a Lod, but full ancients augmented already at 100s, which isn't crazy, but man, that is a lot of work already in this season to get full 100 augments.
Yep.
Full ancients, full nice rolled ancients. You got a lot of gear. Put in some work, man. 1600 Paragon.
They go down again. Gosh darn it. I just want to see 4-man.
I can tell you.
All right. It's like
nope. I'm getting booted. Yeah. Don't do it. Oh no.
Probably We've got a monk. Okay. A necro. I'm guessing this is this Thorns? I swear to God. It's
Probably
LOD.
gonna be
Okay. So we got a 145 clear already with really nothing crazy. It's probably LOD mages. Wait, is that mage? No, that's Nova. No, that's mages.
Nova.
No, it's mages.
Is it mages?
Yeah, and then
nice.
a Crusader, like a Heaven's Fury Crusader. That's interesting. GG boys, 145 already. See, that's crazy to me. Season launches Friday and people are already in 145s. Like,
yeah.
Just if you delete the Z classes, like we'll probably be fine. Anyways,
it goes back to the talks that we've had in the past about resets, man.
Yeah.
You know, like at what point, you know, they're trying to balance everything around a 130. Fucking balance everything around a 30 again.
Yeah.
You know? The fuck out of. I don't know. I say that. I don't know. I used to play like season, you know, 1. I think like 30 Greater Rift 30 was like a pretty nice clear back then.
Yep.
And I remember pushing them and be like so happy when I got a 30 or 33 or whatever I did. It was cool. I don't know. So back then I had fun. Would I now though? After crushing the 100 plus with ease, like we were doing rats, we were doing 100s in like, you know, sub 2 minutes last night.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
With 700 Paragon, you know, just blowing stuff up. So if you go back, I don't know.
True.
How to feel.
But yeah. So give me your TLDR this season. So I haven't played the season. I did feel, I will say, I felt I could disappointed people not playing this season. And that always feels really, really bad. So I just really want to drive home to anyone that's like a fan of the Diablo. Like season 21 is going to be new necro stuff. So there's literally nothing the world could do to stop me from playing season 21. Even if it was like literally the most juicy POE content you can imagine. Like
the most juicy POE content comes out. And
only like, Diablo 4 could
we
stop
want
me
you
from
to come. We want
21.
you to come stream it. They're like, Fluff, we're gonna fly you to New Zealand to come stream this content. You would be like, okay,
yeah.
You're like, all right. You're like, fuck it.
Right.
Yeah, it was so my overall impression. It's just like every season, man. It's fun. It's a good time. It's the season start and the first weekend of the season are amazing. I personally like the theme more than last season's. It seems really simple, like oh, the cubes opened up, but I just like it more than last season. I don't feel like it's ultimately there's a ton of extra choices there, but there's a couple. And I do feel like just like last season, in a couple weeks, I'm gonna be like, well, that was fun. Peace out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, which is fine. Like I think people think that there's this negative thing where you get burned out on a Diablo season now, and I don't. I don't know, man. I feel like people are expecting me to personally love Diablo and want to grind it for 3 months for like 365 days a year. And I just can't anymore. Like I did that. Trust me, I did that for almost a fucking year and a half. And I can't do it every day. But I still love the season start like a madman. Like the first 2 weeks are phenomenal. It's awesome.
Right.
So let's talk about POE. Since you didn't play Diablos, you were playing that other game called POE. Unless you wanted to hit leaderboards more, are you good on that?
No, leaderboards are good.
Okay.
Yeah, so I played obviously POE at the start instead because I just at the end of the day felt that it would be more exciting. And I mean, I was right. Like it's, you know, playing the new things. I'd say that I kind of discovered like new skills are, I think, the most exciting thing that like Path of Exile can do. Finding like new ways to play the game. Obviously, the new end game thing is really cool. I think graphically, the new end game Delirium looks really neat. Like the whole place gets covered in fog, and like that's really cool. It's very, very threatening. A lot of cool like particle effects that these new mob types do, and they're very menacing mob types. They're like one-shotting people left and right. But that's not necessarily because they're challenging. It's because like their mechanics are a little messed up. So they're like overscaling a bit. And
so they're bugged or they're overtuned?
They're overtuned. Yeah. There are some buggy things. Performance this particular league has been kind of like an all-time low. At least in my experience of, you know, like the past 4 or 5 leagues playing pretty hard. It's very, very laggy. like very, very laggy. So laggy that like yesterday I was just like, I'm not even gonna log on my hardcore character because it's so bad.
That's a complaint I remember hearing in the past a lot though. You know, I remember watching a couple other POE streamers at the start of some leagues and them just complaining constantly about lag.
Right.
So it feels bad.
Yeah. I mean,
hopefully it works out.
Right.
I wonder if that's like the number of people playing and then people stop playing and it'll like dip down, or if that's
it could be a Corona spike. It could be the DDoS, like maybe it's still happening. I did get like kicked off yesterday and like 6 trillion people were in the queue. So I assume that was kind of like a effective DDoS.
Thing.
Yeah.
Twitch was having issues for me last night too. Did you have any issues with Twitch last night?
No.
Interesting.
Was it that OBS bug that everybody's getting, or?
Wasn't. I was just dropping frames. It would like work fine, drop frames for a couple seconds, work fine, drop frames. But my internet was solid as a rock. Like I was, pulling gig and no packet loss and all that good stuff. So I was like, So
I don't know. I'm sure the internet is getting more use than ever before.
Right. Everybody's at home.
Yeah.
What's this Corona?
But yeah, I mean, outside of that, I'm still having it. Like, I'm honestly like, I'm having a ton of fun, even with all the lag. I actually think the fact that I did have to stop playing hardcore because of the lag, like I do really, really enjoy just playing SSF and like making builds. That's like where I get my enjoyment instead of just like racing to, Awakener 8 on hardcore, which is super fun, but it's definitely not as fun for me as like making builds and shit like that. So cool. It's been crazy fun. Cool. But yeah,
so
it's super rippy.
So all right, you played hardcore.
Yeah.
And you did the new mechanic.
Yeah.
And so the first time you did the new mechanic.
Yeah.
Were you like shitting your pants? Were you scared you were gonna die? Did you get hit hard and like, oh fuck? Like what? Like
yeah, I mean, obviously
take me through your first one.
Yeah,
so experience.
It's hardcore, so like you're always kind of like inherently more on your toes. And so yeah, the first delirium I went into was just part of leveling, and that's how they get you. Like you kind of start to feel comfortable. Like, so I opened a delirium while leveling, and like you're really not that fast when you're like level nothing, right? So you're like, you can't progress that far into delirium. So you get to like maybe stage 1, stage 2. And it's like, well, that felt pretty cool. And you get some like rewards. And then you kind of keep progressing. And then like around like probably level 15, level 20, then maybe you start getting to level 2, level 3. And then it starts to like really scale up. And then it's like all of a sudden, like you hit 20 or 30, level 20 or 30. And like you hit phase 2, phase 3. It starts like really wrecking you. So,
so once you activate, tell me about the event. How does it work? Because I haven't played it, so I only watched the trailer. So tell me how it works.
Yeah. So you there's a mirror. It's not like something you have to click this time. So as soon as you like walk up to it, it activates, and it just spreads fog from that epicenter, right? And so your goal is to kind of keep killing, like to like keep progressing through the map, but you have like a set time that's based on, I think it's just a set time. I think that they're going to change that in the future though. But right now it's just like you kill stuff and eventually the fog will like catch up to you, like clearing of the fog will catch up to you. So you kind of want to like ride the wave of fog, and then you can hit the boss and kill him, and he'll give you like some Relacrum shards, and he's like more challenging. But all the mobs that get touched by the fog are challenging. Plus the fog actually spawns more mobs, special types of mobs, and these are the mobs that are crazy rippy. And also throughout the fog, there's like little pods that you can like accidentally step on or step on purpose. Like some will spawn mobs, and like that's a good thing because the mobs will give you more like progress.
Yeah.
Or there's pods that like will spawn just like mines. And
so you have a timer,
yeah,
and there's a progress bar.
Yeah.
Progress bar spawns the boss?
No, so you get a progress bar, and then like it'll fill up, and then it'll like keep going. So you get level 1, and then it'll like reset, and then you like level 2. So the more things you kill, that bar like keeps filling up. Okay. And then if you want to kill the boss that's touched by the fog, you basically just have to like try to rush to the boss as fast as you can and kill stuff to get good rewards. Because like eventually the fog like catches up to you, regardless of how well you're doing. Like the fog will catch up to you, and
then when it catches up, it goes away.
Yeah, it completely goes away. So even if say you're fighting the boss and you got him like 1% health, and the fog goes away, like it doesn't matter that he was touched at all. Like
Damn.
you're out of time, so he just goes back to normal. So
and you don't get your loot then,
right?
Okay, I'm with you.
So, but you always get the loot at the end. Like if, depending on how many phases you got, stuff drops. So
okay, I'm with you. So
there's some things like people, one, it's super rippy. Two, it kind of does feel weird. So like it feels really good in the sense that it's like it is super challenging and you touch and like things feel rippy, but you really have to continually move. And so like stopping to pick anything up feels crazy bad, and it like ruins your progress to even like think about picking anything up. So actually what kind of is happening is like you start it up and then you like fly, kill, and you just leave it all, and then
you gotta go back and pick
come back and pick it up, which actually adds to like the time it takes for you to like to get through maps, and so it actually like cuts into your efficiency. And so you start to question, like, other than the cluster jewels dropping, is this really that efficient for me to be doing? And the rewards outside of the cluster jewels don't seem to be like insane outside for like a couple types of things that is dropping. So there's some controversy about that as well. But overall, I mean, they already made this huge post about what they're thinking going forward. Even despite all this corona shit going down there, it's like, we're about to hit you with some juice, right? Looking at
we got you.
Like their turnaround is insane. They already had one patch come through last night, so
nice.
I was surprised though.
POE's development cycles are crazy.
There's nothing that competes with that. It's insane.
I'm telling you, Kotaku article is going to come out and like
worked into the ground.
They ground these guys until they're dead, man. Chris Wilson was like, if you don't fucking get this shit done, you're fired, and I'm gonna fucking sleep with your wife. Like, hurry up,
Right. True.
So
true.
It sounds like a cool thing, and so the rumor had it that you ripped a couple times,
twice. Yeah. All right, so the first time wasn't my fault. The first time, okay. So the first time I was like, there's a new guy. He's like a fatty. Okay. He's like a big, he's like, what are they called? Grotesques.
Okay.
But instead, when he doesn't die and explode, but what he does is like opens up his belly and like these things come out, right? That are like balls. Like these balls come out, and when those land, they explode and they do tons of damage. Tons of damage.
I'm just kind of. Have you seen your picture? Like, it looks
chill,
literally his balls. Look at the location. Look at the launch location.
Okay, chill out.
All right. If you guys can't see, Fluff's drawing in Notepad.
Right. And so what happened, my first rip is this doesn't happen a lot, but I was on a different like elevation than the fatty. So I was up here, right? So I think what ended up happening was like these things do crazy damage when they explode, but I think I got hit by the pure projectile of those things, which isn't normally supposed to happen because you're not technically going ever to be higher elevation than like the projectile, I guess. So like that just insta.
And you couldn't see so I watched the clip.
Yeah.
I couldn't see what hit you.
Right. So, but I learned my lesson. Don't be on a different elevation than the fatties.
Yeah. So fight fatties on the same floor.
Right.
Okay.
And then the second rip was, just delirium. Like it does crazy damage. We're like, I don't know, Act 9 or something like that. Died again. But to be fair, it is really hard for me because like I'm so excited to play the new stuff. To jump in the hardcore without a tried and true, tested, like meta build is really stupid. Really, like no one does that. Like no one. So it is kind of futile for me even to be trying to do that. But I just want to play the new stuff. So
yeah,
that's how we died both times. I was playing Nam. And now we're, our third guy, he's a caustic arrow trickster that just shits all over everything. And I'm, well in the maps and level 80 something, not having any, no real risk of death yet. So
awesome. Sounds like it was a pretty good launch then, man.
Yeah, dude.
Successful.
And to touch on, successfulness, we knew this was kind of going to happen. Maybe some of you guys aren't, like big Twitch fans if you're listening in, but I mean, I honestly, you and I talked about it before the season and the league launched. And you're like, I was like, I think that Diablo will probably get up to like 30, 40K. Because I don't know. I thought that they would. Like some people like usually pull some pretty big numbers. Like Bloodshed usually pulls like at least 3K. You know, and if like someone like Ari or like Avoiding the Puddle join the director, that can be like another 10 to 15K.
Yeah.
And I knew the POE would be over 100K, which it was well over 100K. But yeah, like Blizzard, or not Blizzard, so Diablo 3 just like, I don't know, didn't seem to really pick up any juice. I think it was at like 10.
I saw it break like 25.
Really?
Yeah. It hit 25 for a little bit. That was I think before NA launched, actually. Okay. That was like when the European stuff hit.
Jesse Roxton had like 10K people.
Yeah, he had a lot. He was I think I saw him get up to like 13 or 15. Yeah. But yeah, man, POE slayed it, man. Like they, you know, per usual. And it's you know, I don't know, like Quinn, did you happen to see what Quinn was rocking on POE?
Like 10. But like all the top boys are in, like, so it's like Mathil's is, so it's really hard to share when they're all in, right?
Right. So like, you know, Quinn's got his 10. He would have pulled fucking 10 in Diablo 3 too.
Probably
more. You know what I'm saying? Probably more. Yeah. You know what I mean? So like, you know,
right, and you got the DAT mods, right? DAT mods to pull 3 to 5.
Play the directory so much, right? You know, those couple huge.
I pulled like 10 million. No, it was like 1,000. Yeah,
it was
like, so.
You know, it was a good launch. It was a fun launch. It was the same, like, you know, season starts for me are always quiet. Chat's always quiet because everybody's leveling. Like, you can't. People aren't typing in chat when you're playing. So it was a super chill, just, you know, grinded out level stream, and I was trying to entertain. So I think it was fun. I had a blast. And the season's still good. Like I find myself wanting to play Diablo the first week of the season off stream. Like, you know, this weekend, Sundays are my no video game days, man. I unplug. Like I don't play games.
Even season start weekend?
In the past I have, but this one I decided I wasn't going to because I had so much shit going on. Like I really needed the rest. I'm like, if I don't rest, I'm gonna be drained all week. I'm gonna wish that I would have. So I did it, man. I unplugged Sunday, but I'm laying in bed with my wife and we're watching a movie, and the movie's over and the credits are rolling, and I'm sitting here thinking like, should I go play just a little bit? You know, like let me just go hop on. So like it's weird because, you know, I normally never want to play Diablo off stream. I'm like, I'll just wait. I'll do it on stream, you know. But Sunday I'm like, ooh, I could go play for like an hour or two. You know?
Sure.
So that's cool. I mean, it's still got its appeal. It's still got that first week of awesomeness, you know.
Yeah.
It would have been fun if you were there, man. It would have been a good time.
I know.
It would like this was the season of rats, dude. Like we could have been blazing it, you know.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it was
what's
fun.
your Paragon right now?
Not that high. So the opening night we got like close to 700, I think. And one of my partners had to leave earlier than anticipated. Like he ended up having to leave at like 3 a.m. And so we ended up going till about I think I played till 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So had he been able to stay, I think we were just really starting to get rolling when he had to dip out. It kind of sucked.
Right.
And then, you know, I didn't play at all Sunday, and I played last night a little bit. I think I'm a little over 800 now, you know?
Right.
So I spent a lot of time farming keys yesterday.
You would have been easily 1,500 if I was in that group. Easily. Carrying those rats.
So it was all right, man. It was okay. There were some. If we could have got another solid 3 hours of rats, so I think we could have added a couple extra 100 Paragon on that first night. You know.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
So another thing I wanted to touch on, kind of popped up on Reddit this week, was so this guy mapped what he had ran.
I saw this
in the cathedral, and so he hit some harsh dead ends.
Well, he
made a mistake right here.
Right there.
Right,
yeah. That's the problem.
But
You know?
still, like these are some. This is pretty brutal, and so it got me thinking. Like, is it fun when you're playing a map and like you hit kind of a brutal dead end and you have to turn around and walk back and there's no new mobs that are gonna spawn, like all the mobs that spawn like you've killed already, so you're not only walking back and not killing anything.
I can tell you if you're playing a Singularity Necro, it sucks ass when there's no mobs.
Yeah.
You're not killing, you're not getting that cooldown. So that would be a nightmare. I honestly seem to always pick the wrong way too. I relate to this guy.
Yeah, I'm literally rank 1 dead end finder, like literally.
Yeah, me too. So I feel his pain. I could totally have done this exact same thing a million times. Although I think experience, the more hours you play, you would realize that one spot he turned around was the juice. That was the out. Everything's squares.
Yeah, he fucked up here. He fucked up right here. But
yeah,
like this one's super brutal.
Yeah, that one is pretty shitty for sure. Like what? I would have been a little upset at that one.
Yeah,
I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. But what do you can you think of anything at the top of your head? Like, what could a game like an ARPG really do to like make this less bad? If they still wanted to have like the random map generation.
They can't instant map spawn. They can't spawn the entire tile when you load in. The map needs to spawn tile sets, and then after XYZ tile sets, then spawn the exit. It would be easy for them to fix. You know what I mean? So you go, and they could still even put, because you got to have some dead ends.
Well, otherwise, could introduce some lag like while you're in the map, though. So that's probably why they do it all ahead of time.
Only if your engine's shitty, I would suppose. I mean, if.
But I could see like, okay, you're at the edge of this one, and it's going to spawn your next two, maybe.
No. Like you could have it spawn. Yeah, you could have it spawn almost the whole thing. Like you could have it spawn a big section. But just, okay, your sections are ended. So, like, depending on which way the player goes, like, okay, now we can spawn more tiles.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I don't think that, even if their engine is beautiful, like, that's still like that's pretty big back-end fetch, I think, to, like, pull in more tiles.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not the software designer for it. So I'm just saying, like, that's how I would try to tackle it, from an overview. But maybe that would suck, totally not work.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know what you can do about it. And it's okay. I think dead ends are okay. You got to have dead ends sometimes.
Well,
I think it makes it.
What if, like, say you hit this, right? So for you guys listening in, you hit a pretty big dead end here. What if you were here and you realize you're a dead end, and the map would like know that if you got this chunk and this is the tile, that you've hit a dead end. So if you go back, like, there's gonna be new mobs waiting for you that you have to kill.
That's cool. Respawns? I'm down for respawns. Yeah.
Not necessarily respawns in the sense that like it would always happen. So say you were like AFK for 30 seconds, everything comes back, but like it would know, okay, I was on a tile that was a dead end. Right.
What if it made that a trap tile? Like you walk in there and a gate pops down and then now you have to fight your way out.
Some random event. Yeah.
Yeah. Like a random event tile. And then, okay, so the gate shuts, you're stuck in there, you're killing mobs. And then you can, when you leave, things have repopulated. Sure.
Yeah.
I'd be down. Killing's the name of the game. So the more we get to do it, the better. Right. As long as it's not spear throwers or fucking tongue lashers, we're good.
Right.
So,
what if you know the layout, chat? Shut the fuck. Okay. Rats. You should never know the layout in ARPG, man. Like, what's the point? Like, to me, that still blows my mind. There's like people that use that because it's like part of the ARPG is like everything's dynamic and you're like, you don't really know where you're going.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits ARPGs have over other games. Is that they have generated tiles that are random. Because other games, you know the map.
Right.
Like if I go run a strike in Destiny, I know the layout of the strike
World of Warcraft,
every single time I play it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You do a raid, you know.
Warcraft dungeon.
Exactly where you're going.
Caverns, you can navigate it blindfolded. I've done it so many times.
I hate that.
So it's like that's the benefit.
Yeah.
But Diablo, and they've gotten better these last couple seasons. They've started to randomize a little bit, but Diablo tile sets, you know where to go based on the tile set you're getting too.
Well, some of them, sure.
Some of them, a lot of them. It's like, okay, I know I need to go this way. If I see this tile, I know I need to go this way to get out. But then every season they'll switch that though. Like I remember one season they switched it. And I'm like, oh, this isn't the way out anymore. I got to go this way now. So it's kind of cool.
Interesting.
Yep.
But yeah.
So I guess that's
kind of
That's what we
interesting.
got, man. Let's
There's one more. There's a couple more things. A couple more.
Oh, you got more? Okay.
So
Oh, yeah, I forgot about this. Oh my gosh, dude. I read this. Okay, so here's I was, looking at the Diablo forums and I saw this post. And I'm like, the title was interesting. I'm like, okay, let me click this. And then I start reading it. All right.
the title is Blizzard/Steam/Twitch must protect gamers' health during pandemics.
Okay, so I'm going to read the post.
Okay.
And then you guys can tell me how you feel about it. It says the most successful way to boost one's mental and physical health is increasing one's sleeping hours per day.
Bro, let's min-max and sleep 15 hours a day. Let's go.
I mean,
I'll be jacked, right?
You're right. The gaming-related companies must introduce, and then in bolds, playtime restrictions during pandemics in order to preserve the health of their players and customers in optimal shape. Okay. I've checked out already. This post has got to be troll because what the hell, man?
Right. Like, why would you want to restrict playtime during pandemic to like bore people and then like, oh, they're gonna go outside?
Yeah,
you don't want them to go outside.
Yeah, somebody's grandma got on the forum with their son's account and she was pissed because she found out he played a fucking 20-hour Diablo 3 session or something. It's like, no, absolutely. Like, first off, most of us are adults. If you're a kid, you should have a parent monitoring your playtime anyways. And if you're an adult, you don't need somebody else telling you how much you should or shouldn't play. And if you do, then survival of the fittest, man, like, sorry, dude, like you killed yourself playing video games. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, I guess. I think it's ridiculous. This post has even got anybody liking it. It blows my mind.
Right.
And
it's probably just him on 3 accounts.
Right.
I also like this says like, so us as streamers, if we play like a 24-hour stream, like we're encouraging our viewers to do the same. So we're like putting people in danger. Okay.
I mean, I've done 124. I know you've done a lot more. I've only done one. F that. It was horrible. I'll probably do it again someday, but it's got to be a super special event for me to do a 24.
Right.
Diablo 4 launch, I think, would be big enough that I would probably do it.
Sure.
But I didn't if my viewers stayed up with me, cool. I wasn't like, yo, if you go to bed, I'm gonna come to your house and jump you. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like they got sleepy. I was like, oh man, you're cashing out already. All right, dude, take it easy. You know what I mean? Like that was the extent of my harassment.
Sure. So, and then the last thing that kind of blew up on Reddit this week is something we've touched on a little bit before, but this post about salvaging primals. So salvaging primals, if you guys don't know, you just get more forgotten souls.
Primal dust mechanic.
Yeah. So like it just it does suck still in the current state of the game that you don't get anything for salvaging these.
It's one of those weird things, man. And we've talked about this since the first episode of the podcast, man. Where getting a primal should never feel bad, and it does.
Yeah.
When I got my Custarian bracers as my 70 primal, it felt bad. I was disappointed. My mental state was sadder than it was to right before I finished the rift, and then I've gotten a primal. I got something else really shitty too. I don't know, man, like Okathos ring or something really bad. I don't know. Whatever it was complete garbage. And you see the primal and you get excited, and then you pick it up and you're like, oh man, come on, dude. So
even then, like as a long time Diablo player, so like we'll be going through maps and like we get a sword that's a primal, like, and I'm playing a Necro. I'm like, well, it's fucking shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't even have to look, and I just feel this.
And all they gotta do is just add a material to it. If you disenchant a primal, you get a primal dust. You can take primal dust, throw it in the Kanai cube with your weapon, and the primal dust. It doesn't even have to guarantee a primal. Like, let's say it took 10 primal dust to guarantee a primal. Let's say it took 10 primal dust to give you a 50% chance to get a primal. You know what I mean? Like something. Because then if you got that primal drop, you're going to be like, well, damn, I only need 9 more though, and I got what I want. So
totally. There should never be a thing where the rarest thing that can happen in a game for loot feels bad. because
Right.
there's a chance that even after you got this rare thing, that like it's completely worthless. Like that's fucking dumb. That's super dumb. So
there's ways to fix it. I just don't know. Like, you know, that would be a really cool quality of life change and crafting change and stuff. And you can make the requirements kind of ridiculous. You should make the requirements should be ridiculous. It should be like you can pull it off once or twice a season tops. You know what I mean? For your average guy maybe doesn't get to do it. Your semi-hardcore players get to pull it off once, and then your crazy hardcore players maybe get to do it 2-3 times tops.
Right.
So
Kill
our mats, man. 1,000 Death's Breath, something just stupid.
Right.
You know what I mean? 1,000 Death's Breath, 15 Primal Dust, you know, 10,000 of all the other mats, just like hurt our pockets.
Something.
Because then you're gonna want to farm those mats up. You're gonna have the Primal Dust and be like, shit, I need 1,000 Death's Breath. God damn it.
Right.
You know? So that's it, man. So do you have some fluff some hatage? I got some PChild loves.
Okay,
if you don't have something ready, I got some PChild loves. So I'm just gonna throw this out there, man. And this was kind of topical. I kind of knew we were gonna talk about Corona, but I didn't think we were gonna get into it that much. But I'm gonna say that, man, I really love working from home.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it's not even like a I get the fuck off. No, I'm not saying that. Because you know, I got phone calls all day, man. I was working today.
Right.
But I like working from home. I was working in like shorts and a t-shirt. B, I didn't have to get up. Like I got to sleep like an extra 30-40 minutes because I didn't have to drive to work.
Sure.
And when I got hungry, I could just walk to my fridge and grab whatever I wanted to eat. I didn't have to drive home and fight rush hour traffic. Like, I don't know how traffic is in KC for your commute. Fuck, it sucks for me, man. Like when I drive home, it's just jam packed. And I didn't have to fight any of it. Dude, there was no stress, man. It was like, oh, it's 5 o'clock. Cool. I'm gonna, you know, I just walked away from my computer and went up and, you know, started cooking some dinner. It was badass. So I really like it. I haven't in my job, you know, with the ownership group that we have, there hasn't been a lot of times where they've been like, yeah, you can work from home. Like they're pretty like, no, you need to get your ass here every single day. That's like their mentality.
Sure.
So it's pretty cool, man. I liked it.
Yeah, man.
So
I've had jobs where I work from home 100% of the time. Like my last job before this one was work from home. I will say, like, I do kind of like over time. At first, when I had that job, I was like, oh man, this is fucking awesome. But over time, I don't know. I started to appreciate maybe going into the office from time to time because I don't know. It does tend to help me focus up sometimes. Having to go somewhere, I don't know. It's weird. It's hard to describe.
So I'm with you. I think some variety would definitely be good.
Yeah.
I think motivation would be hard to sustain if I were at home all the time by myself.
Right.
Like I definitely, you know, and there's something for when you're collaborating with somebody, being face to face just makes it a lot better. Like a lot better.
Right.
But the benefits are there. I would say like at like a 70-30 would be probably a good split, or maybe an 80-20.
Something.
You know, let me work at home 70% of the time, going to the office 30%.
Right. I was 100%, and there would be like months, or like 2 months would go by, and Lindsay would be like, "Have you left like the apartment?" Back when we had the apartment, she's like, "Have you left like this month?" And I was like, "Shit, nope."
Does she do all the grocery shopping? See, I think that's one of the things, man. You got to take time to like, okay, I'm gonna get out. I'm gonna go grocery shopping. I'm gonna go, just go do something. You know, I'm gonna go to Walmart or go to Target or whatever. So,
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah.
So you got something? You want to hit some Twitter questions?
No, I mean, I don't necessarily have anything per se. It'd be great if people would just be smart, you know, about all this. Like, don't panic, and also don't not take it seriously. So
yeah, I'm with you 100%. Twitter questions. We got a couple this week. If you guys, this is the Twitter question section where you guys get to ask us things. We will pick out your questions and answer them on stream. If you want to submit questions to us, you can follow us on Twitter at ThaPChild, at Lord__Fluffy, and just tweet at us. Most weeks I'll put out a topic thing. I kind of didn't this week because I was working from home and my schedule's thrown off. But you can reply to those or join our Discords and ask there. The first question comes from Maester Magus. He says, if you could fix spear throwers to nerf their accuracy, but tongue lashers got buffed, would you do it?
To nerf their accuracy, like so they just miss sometimes, like
so
the spear goes through sometimes.
You. I'm assuming he's, because we've talked about it. I'm assuming he's saying they throw to a locked position.
Right, they lock animation.
If you move away, then you're not going to get hit. I'm going to say no because fuck tongue lashers. On a necro, especially, like, man, you just run. You're going too quick. And a group of tongue lashers just get you, and you're like, you're dead. Like, as soon as you see them, you're dead.
Yeah.
And it's like,
well, I would say yes, because it improves pushing. Because at the end of the day, when you get spear throwers or tongue lashers in a push, you have to leave. Whereas if you could lock spear throwers into the animation, you could try the rift. So I would say yes. Like, we're always going to leave with tongue lashers no matter what. So now we've maybe made spear throwers a mob we can control with skill, so I'm down.
Yeah, can we just get them all out of the game?
Can we just fix like the animation lock needs to happen, and the tongue lashers need to have like a tell before they can even do it. So
some way to avoid it. I mean, ghost lock on, and there's nothing you can do too.
Right.
There's a lot of unavoidable damage that
sucks.
Isn't skill based. It's just like, well, do you have toughness to survive this? Let's check. You know what I mean?
Defense check. Yeah, and that's been a discussion on Path of Exile recently. Is the new mechanic is like they're all on death effects basically. So like mobs will explode when they die, they'll trigger something when they die, and like Path of Exile historically been like, no, we don't like stuff like that, but yet they just like keep adding more on death effects. And people are like kind of wigging out about that because it kind of goes against their design philosophy, and it doesn't feel super fun. But they're literally just doing it to like slow your progress, to like get you one shot, and because they can't stop how fast you one shot stuff.
So like Diablo mobs where you kill them and they drop the poison,
right?
Or I hate that.
Grotesque, right? Like grotesque.
Yeah, I hate the grotesques. I hate the poison drop. It's just not a fun mechanic. Personally, it just is like, okay, I killed you, yet I still have to stand still and have to wait for that shit to go away. I don't know, man. I agree with their philosophy of not having it. It sucks that they're getting away from that,
right? But when you have combat this fast, like I will say, like I mean, I do appreciate the grotesques. I do appreciate the guys that poison when they die, because it's like at some point, like you just one shot everything. So if there's nothing you have to avoid, like where does the fun, like where does the actually trying ever come in? I guess. So I don't know. I'm on the fence.
Yeah, you can avoid projectiles, which we do that.
Sure,
but spear throwers you can't.
Say corpse lance one shot them before they even got the opportunity to wind up.
Yeah. So I'm with you. That's always the problem with every game.
Right.
Is power creep. Right. I mean, ultimately it's power creep. So I'm sure POE didn't start out that fast. We know Diablo didn't start out that fast. So the next question comes from Johnson Light 02. He says, "What is your favorite music genre on and off stream?"
On stream, it's obviously like the kind of synth wave, 80s retro kind of feeling music. Mostly just non-copyright is the main reason I don't listen to normal music. I do have a lot of people that, or a good handful of people that do like watching the past broadcasts, so I try to keep it not muted by playing like Jay-Z.
I've actually had to switch over I do synthwave and EDM a lot, like chill step, things like that on stream, because the exact same. So season launch, I played regular music, and I looked at my season launch VOD, and surprisingly, some people still watched it, which blows my mind because it was like all red.
Right.
There was like it was like 85% red, which in Twitch red means it's been copyright striked and they mute it.
Right.
So there's like these little bitty segments where you can watch, and I was just like, well, that sucks, man. I just, nobody's can watch this if they wanted to. And so the last couple of days, it seems like their detection has really gone crazy on me.
Yeah.
So I've been going back to my chill step and synthwave playlist. So on stream, it's like Fluff said, it's DRM free music that you can actually not get in trouble for playing or not get copyright striked. And synthwave is my favorite of those genres because I mean I guess I'm an 80s kid, so it just I don't know. Like that whole um oh crap. What was the Netflix show with the kids? Stranger Things. That whole Stranger Things vibe is just cool to me. And then, chill step. Off stream, though, I would say I like a lot of genres, but I would say I listen to a lot of hip hop and a lot of pop music in general. So, like, I would say hip hop is probably my favorite, but I love emo and punk too. So I listen to everything.
Damn.
If you're in my stream when I play music, you'll see that my playlist is all over the place.
Yeah. Yeah, when I am off stream, I guess I'm a bit of an old soul. I don't like hip hop. I don't like rap. I don't like country. There's not a lot of genres I do really like. I grew up in like a very, I don't want to say like musically privileged or anything like that. But my dad was like a music teacher. And so like growing up, we listened to classical and like you build like a different kind of appreciation for music. So like hearing pop to me, honestly, is like, it's like fucking nails on a chalkboard kind of thing. Because it's so like musically simplistic and kind of like gross. So yeah, I mean, I do like things that are like a little bit more complicated. So like, I really enjoy like Lake Street Dive and like Avid Brothers. Yeah,
Haven't heard of either of those.
Nathaniel Ratliff. You've heard that one. What's it called? What's the main one? The Pour Me a Drink song.
I don't know.
No? Okay.
I don't know. It's okay.
Son of a bitch. Well, that one?
I'll have to listen. I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
We'll have to check it out. Yeah, I grew up, my family, without doxing myself, I have some semi-famous musicians in my family that have been on TV and things. So like I have a music household.
Mm-hmm.
Most people in my family can play something. I played in high school band because I mean it wasn't really super geeky at my school because it was a small school. But so yeah, I mean I get the classical stuff. I get what you're coming from, and music has just always been a thing. So like my family is really heavy into like rock and my older brother's hair metal, like the 80s metal and stuff like that. Dude. So I really have a big appreciation for like we listened to Eagles and Beatles growing up and things like that. And then my brother got me into like Van Halen and Dokken and like Motley Crue and like all those hair metal bands as a kid. So like that's why my diversity for music is like fucking everywhere. Like you can throw on a Van Halen song, I'll sing along. You can throw on a Drake song and I'll know the lyrics. You can throw on like it's just anything. You can even throw on some country and I'll know it. So and then I grew up in the country, so country was all around me. I really don't like it that much though. Heavy metal is the only genre I'm always like, oh my god, turn that shit off. Like I can't take it, which is crazy because Diablo is like typically a heavy metal. Like a lot of Diablo streamers and players love.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like they love heavy metal. Yeah. And so I'm just like, nope, not me. So
yeah. That's interesting. Honestly, like one of my immediate triggers, like, so like my parents you've been like the Ozarks, I assume. Yeah. So my parents have a cabin out there. Every bar you go to at the Lake of the Ozarks in Missouri is like the most classic rock you can like ever hear. And it's like that music just instantly triggers me. I can't stand it. Even like when we were kids, like Nirvana. Yeah. So like Nirvana, like the lead singer killed himself, and so they've been immortalized. Nirvana for us has been on the fucking radio since they were like came to be popular until today. Like it's still played on the fucking radio today. I am so burned out on fucking Nirvana. I could scream. I cannot get away from it.
Like I can still rock it. You could throw on Teen Spirit, and I'm down.
Teen Spirit's been overplayed since it was like released, and it's just been nonstop.
Came out in 94, man. I'm a fan. So it's funny. Like, maybe you just need to see that's why you need to broaden your
I'm not here at all. I just don't like it.
I like so much stuff, though. I think I'm just a music lover. I think it's easy for me to find things to like in songs.
Sure.
You know. So, CT says, and I'm pretty sure we've had this before, but CT says, is a hot dog a sandwich?
I feel like we did have that before.
I think we have had this.
Why would it be a sandwich? Because it's between two pieces of bread?
Because it's meat between two pieces of bread.
I'd say no. It's its own thing.
It's its own thing.
Yeah.
Just to disagree, I'm going to say yes.
Wow.
And the only reason
Fuck you, dude.
Just to disagree. Yeah. So, it is a sandwich, which then also makes a hamburger a sandwich too. And you know, McNublet says, "What item would you take over to POE from Diablo 3 and vice versa?"
Wait, what was that?
What item would you take over to POE from Diablo 3 and vice versa?
Shit, dude.
Okay. From POE to Diablo 3, I'm going to take a headhunter.
Shut up.
And from that's honestly, I don't know that many POE items. I just know that thing's super broken. So, and from Diablo 3, what's the most interesting COE? I want to play COE mechanics.
Yeah, totally. Every game ever.
No, but seriously, what's the most interesting item in?
I mean, my favorite item in D3 is Ingium, but I don't like POE wouldn't need that. Like, yeah, that'd be overkill. I don't know, man. Shit. Honestly, a better question would be like a skill, but an item. I don't know, man.
You know, it's interesting.
There's some favorite items I have in PoE, but like none of them would apply to Diablo because you know, one of the things we want to talk about this week was damage scaling. I'll have to say that for next week. Okay. But yeah, because there's just not a lot of ways to scale your damage in Diablo 3, so like it just wouldn't work. So
yeah, it doesn't translate over super well from game to game because they just play differently too. So I don't know, man. I can't really think of an item in Diablo that I'm like, dude. So I'll even switch this question up and say, what item from Diablo 3 would I want to take into D4? And I think we've maybe even had that question.
Yeah.
And my answer is none of them. Like there is not a single item where I'm like, this is so badass. I would love it if there were some kind of item in Diablo that made your mages on Singularity Necro last forever. But I guess you can't because Singularity Necro mages are so OP.
Yeah.
But if there was something that you would have to sacrifice to get your mages permanent, I hate having to.
What would you do though? Like you would just literally stand there. If you didn't have to recast them, that'd be the most boring fucking place. That'd be like playing a Witch Doctor.
I mean, they could die. Just give them health bars and like
that would literally be playing a Witch Doctor. You're just standing there, hoping your mobs kill things and you don't get killed.
So you think recasting mages, the whole like cast mages,
well, yeah, because it's not just like, oh, I'm standing there casting mages. You're choosing your targets. Like you have to be selective with your target, especially playing rat run.
But if you had your mages already out, you hit the button, they could shoot it too. They could already target it,
like a command skeleton type thing. But that's not a necro cross-wide thing, so you have to target them.
Yeah, so. I don't know. I don't know. It'd be interesting, I think, if they added an item.
There's no like. Here's the thing:
if they have to sacrifice something,
if they had command skeletons like it is right now, there's no risk reward. I say I like that. So say you dump your essence and you cast it on the wrong thing, you fucked up and you like messed with the whole group's efficiency. Like there's a risk versus reward type thing with it. So I don't know. I don't agree with changing the Singularity Mage at all, but.
Well, Singularity in itself dumps your whole essence pool to make your mages be super juicy, and I don't think you could keep those forever either. I guess
the problem is you can just spam them in rat runs, and so it doesn't really matter that much in the end, anyways. But
I think so. I guess my point more so, not necessarily for mages, but Necro doesn't seem to have a viable, persistent army. You know what I'm saying? It's like.
But again, if they had a persistent army, what the hell would you be doing? Just standing there? And that's literally a Witch Doctor. Go play Pet Bill on Witch Doctor. That's what it is. You just stand there and hope that your mobs kill things.
It's different. Witch Doctor pets are so fucking stupid.
But it'd be the same as playing Witch Doctor. Just go play Witch Doctor if that's what you want. That's not what we want. We want some interaction.
We'll see. We'll see. It doesn't matter though. There's no item in Diablo 3 that I'm like, man, I really love this so much. I hope we get it in another game. So, Cohen T. Barb says, assuming that D3 is the bacon of ARPGs, and then that's saying it's a good thing.
Okay,
and
so
that
what was
POE
that?
is this. He says, okay, so assuming that D3 is the bacon of ARPGs, it's the same good thing, and POE is the sausage, ultimate variety. What would like D3 bacon or sausage? Hold on. What the heck? Oh, let me decipher this and see what's going on.
Hang on.
What would you like D4 to be, bacon or sausage?
Here's the thing. That's a terrible question. It's all wrong. Okay.
He's trying to get our bacon and sausage.
Right. But here's the thing. Okay, so he calls Diablo bacon. Diablo's like turkey bacon. Because you really love bacon and you end up eating turkey bacon because like bacon, if you ate it every day, you'd just like fucking die from health complications or whatever. So you end up eating like turkey bacon, but you always want it to be something else that it's not. Whereas POE is
I'm gonna start off. Yeah.
is like a beer sausage or something, right? Like it's a super acquired taste where if you love that type of sausage, oh man, you want to eat that sausage every morning. It's the best thing in the world. Whereas for most people, maybe they don't love that sausage.
Hold on. You want to eat sausage every morning?
Hell yeah, dude.
See, this is why you need to subscribe to the Patreon so you can listen to Fluff talk about the D's before the podcast every week, guys. I
just five-headed that question, by the way.
No. Okay. So the thing is, turkey bacon sucks, first off. If we're going to go to your scenario. Turkey bacon is the worst shit on the planet. I would never eat. It's fake. It's fake bacon. It's not even bacon. It should just be called turkey nastiness. Okay, turkey slime, because it's always slimy too. It's shit's sick. So, secondly, Diablo 3 is not the bacon of ARPGs, right? Because bacon is
the turkey bacon of ARPGs.
Juicy. It's always juicy and it's always delicious. And you never don't want bacon. Like if you walked in here right now and said, "Hey P, you want some bacon?" I'd be like, "Hell yeah, I want bacon."
Sure.
Like you always want bacon. And then POE, I guess POE sausage, Fluff loves it. So,
yeah, like I said, it's the acquired sausage. Like it's like a special type of sausage that not everybody likes. But if you like it, you fucking love it, and you like that's all the sausage you want to eat, right? Okay. So Diablo's turkey bacon.
So the question:
like
do we want D4 to be sausage or bacon? Of course, it's bacon. Of course, Diablo 4 is bacon.
Yeah, it's turkey. It's probably, you know what? Hang on, because Diablo 3 is in its current form a little bit more complicated than Diablo 4 itemization, at least. So if Diablo 3 is turkey bacon,
would you like a glass of toxicity with that bacon?
Diablo 4 is like gluten-free turkey bacon. Like I don't know, man.
Gluten-free
keto. I don't know what is keto.
Already keto, anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Bacon wrap sausage. That's what we want Diablo 4 to be. It's bacon wrap sausage.
Sausage wrap bacon. Let's get it right.
Bro.
Hex says, who is the greatest video game character of all time?
What do you say?
All the video game characters. Man, this is a hard one for me. And it could be because I'm hyped up right now.
Oh my God. I think our brain went to the same thing.
Sephiroth is a badass mofo. Dude.
Yeah. It's immediate. I didn't even it wasn't something I had to think about. It just like the first, it was like a guttural thing.
Too. Yeah. He's just like, ever since I played Final Fantasy VII, I'm like, this is the baddest motherfucker I have ever seen. His attitude, like everything about his character design, his personality traits, he is just straight.
I hope, I didn't get to play the demo. Was he a badass in the demo?
You didn't get to see him.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't. It was just like the intro level. Okay. Like where you're.
I hope that he stays true to his badassery.
Oh, he's got to, dude. It was. He is by far the best villain of all time, hands down, not even a question, and possibly the best character. I also liked Cloud's character a lot too.
Yeah, true.
So that's the only other debatable for me would be, is it Sephiroth or Cloud? And I'm gonna pick Sephiroth.
Yeah.
So
true.
If you haven't played Final Fantasy VII, it still holds up, man. Graphically, it's like what's this? But story wise, man, it holds up. At least I don't know. You think I'm biased because I love the game so much?
Maybe. I mean, I would love to give it another shot because I was fucking hardcore.
Yeah.
So
it was good. The demo was awesome.
Yo, can I borrow that PlayStation or what?
Yeah, man. Can drive up here. I'll let you borrow one.
And you drive out, go outside in the current state? Oh my God.
Yeah. If you want to drive 6 hours, I mean, you could probably like buy one cheaper than it would cost you to drive. What, you know, but.
I'm already $100 minus because of that survey last week. So,
oh yeah, that sucks, dude.
No.
That's it, man. That is all the questions we got. So before we wrap up, guys, again, if you missed the beginning of the podcast, we did get our Patreon set up. Do you want to rehash it real quick, or you want to just say go to the front and listen to it again if you missed it?
Yeah, just cycle back.
Cycle back to the front. It's there. Check it out.
Juicy.
And you got some good stuff, man. You guys can come listen to the pre-show and hang out after the pod and Discord with us. So good times. If you want to submit questions to the podcast, you can submit them at ThaPChild or at Lord__Fluffy on Twitters. You can join our Discords. We have Ask New Meta sections in there where you can submit your questions or topics you think we might be interested in talking about on the podcast. And that's it, man. Come follow us on all the places and Twitter and Twitches and YouTubes.
Oh, yeah. Easy.
Cool. Catch you guys next week for episode 92.
92. Assuming, hopefully, still corona free.
Yes.
Peace out.
Later.